Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets from now until Super Bowl 57 on February 12th, 2023 from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1,199 versus a regular price of $1,999 for one total savings of $800. This limited time super discount comes out to less than $100 per month and only $3.28 per day. As an added bonus, your all access starts immediately, so the sooner you buy before Super Bowl 56, the more additional days you will get for free. Just go to wagertalk.com, choose your favorite handicapper to lock in, and don't forget there is no limit to the amount of handicappers you can redeem our Super Bowl to Super Bowl offer on.
I'm back, baby. Tanned as all hell, Teddy. Guys, before we even tell you what show this is, Teddy tells me off air, when you were away, my blood didn't boil once. And my response, what a shame for the audience. Welcome to Wager Talk Today, everyone. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers. We got a jam-packed show. Matt Joesphs right off the top. He's going to talk college hoops. He has a bet for you on the Toledo game and the Auburn, Missouri game. Tokyo Brandon with teams I can't pronounce games. And Dave Sharapan at the end of the show. Teddy, I want to talk some NFL, but first off, how are you, my friend? How sad are you to see me? What's going on?
I'll deal with it, but we got to talk about something that happened last night because there was a beat for the ages in the NBA last night and the whole game, right? So I had the Chicago Bulls on Sunday, and the Bulls played probably their worst game of the year on Sunday. They went to Orlando. They were out of it by halftime. There was no second half push. The Magic, who had lost 9 straight home games, blew out the Bulls. And I was debating, I'm like, this is a Chicago spot. Do you come back with Chicago at OKC? They're supposed to beat this team. And I didn't. I'm like, I'm just going to leave the association tonight. I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing it. We'll take a night off. And the Bulls are up 28 in the third. And I'm like, just punching myself in the face. I'm like, how could I do it? So what did Chicago do? That 28-point lead blown completely. Thunder had a chance to tie in the closing second. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander missed the 3. Then you're like, all right, good, fine, no problem. But the Bulls only hit 1 of 2 free throws, and Mike Muscala with a uncontested 30-foot three-pointer at the buzzer. Bulls win by only 1. Thunder get the money, and I'm like, for as mad as I was at myself for the first 3.5 quarters of that game for not playing Chicago, at the end, I was real glad I didn't play Chicago. Brutal beat for Bulls backers last night. It's been that kind of a stretch in the sports betting world. There have been some tough beats. This was one of them last night, if you had Chicago. What did you learn, Mr. Prez?
I learned that if you don't watch Wager Talk Today, you lost on the Chicago Bulls last night. But if you do watch this show religiously, you won on the Chicago Bulls last night. So the bad beat, Teddy, is to the people who don't watch this show, who don't pay attention to Ralph Michaels' charts, and who do not remember that any game in basketball under 2, you take on the money line. The Prez released Chicago last night. The Prez remembered what Ralph Michaels taught everyone. The Prez put it out at minus 125, and the Prez slept brilliantly. Thank you. Teddy, man. Ralph got on the show and gave out a chart that literally proved mathematically that anything under 2 is a money line bet. I won on the Bulls last night, my brother.
Nice job. Good bet.
But I did lose my shit at the end there. Flat out. Yeah, I had a 3-1 night. I had a 4-0 Sunday. I haven't spoken NFL, so I'm going to speak a little bit of NFL, and then we're going to bring Matt Joesphs in. I just want to thank everybody for playing my plays. We put out a package in the playoffs, $99 for my playoffs. It's been outstanding. I went 3-0 for my clients. 3-0 for my clients this past weekend in the NFL. I also gave out all 4 dogs on my Twitter account and the over Matt Gay, LA Rams kicker, 6.5 points. I freaking nailed everything except the last dog. But that was only a Twitter play, and I went 3-1 in that video anyway. Teddy, man, I just want to say that we are seeing the best football, the most amount of drama. Every single game is pure freaking drama. It is from the Green Bay San Fran game, the Tennessee game had drama. The KC Buffalo game might have been the best football game played since Kellen Winslow blocked 2 kicks way back in 82 or 84 or whatever it was. The Rams game was ridiculous. It was unbelievable football all around. But dude, did you and Merrill talk about the overtime? Because I can't for the life of me understand why the overtime rules are the way they are. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, when the NHL gets to the 3rd period of overtime, the viewership is insane. Can you imagine if they played a quarter and if they're tied, another quarter, and if they're tied, another quarter, and the social media buzz and the activity and the hype and all the people that will just log on and watch and watch and watch and watch until it like becomes the most watched football game of all time because they're in quarter number 14. Why would the NFL not want that?
Because physically the players can't handle it. All right. What we've seen in college football and what do you mean? You could have given those 2 offenses 20 possessions each in overtime, and they would have gotten 20 scores each. There was nothing left defensively for anyone on the field. When you're playing at maximum intensity 4 hours later, you don't have that maximum intensity. The offense is a huge edge. We saw that in college football. That's why they changed the college football rules and to make this any overtime after the second, it goes to 2-point conversions. So it shortens the OT session. It makes it just 1 play. And when you have grown men that have been going at it for 4 hours, there's nothing left in the tank. So you can,
Okay.
Drew Martin and I on the opening line report yesterday said to the audience, give us your suggestions for overtime. And we got a bunch of really in the YouTube chat, in the YouTube comment section, a bunch of interesting suggestions, but there wasn't one of them. And like, this is going to be better. That's going to solve the problem. The problem is what it is for NFL OT. I don't know if there's an easy solution. If there was, they figured it out already.
Fair enough. If you can't keep going, you don't want to put your second stringers in. And of course, if you're not nearly as tough as hockey players, I fully get it. Okay, it's $2 Tuesday, everybody. Matt Joesphs, the $2 Tuesday handicapper over at Sports. I'm a mess. Sports Memo. Matt, big run, 19-10 in your last 5 days in college hoops, 51-35 college hoops run. Is there anything you want to add to any of the conversations that have taken place?
I think it's funny that people cherry pick on the OT rules. Just because the first touchdown happened, like, let's include the regular season. I mean, it doesn't always happen where the first drive is a touchdown. I mean, I think the rules are terrible too, but like, just because we all watched it and it was a really great game, like, that shouldn't mean the rules should change. What if they kick a field goal and then the other team gets a chance? So like, just because the Chiefs, who have a really good offense, by the way, scored a touchdown, like, that shouldn't be this massive referendum for changing the rules.
Well, basically, the game came down to a coin toss, and that's a shame no matter how you look at it, and that has to be fixed. I'm clearly not the one to fix it, but somebody has to fix it. What, Teddy?
Well, the Chiefs were on the other end of that exact same scenario at home against the Patriots, and they lost the toss and gave up the touchdown in the AFC Championship game. Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? the exact same scenario, except that time KC lost the toss. This time they won the toss. Both times the team that won the toss went down, scored the touchdown, into the game. It's hard to stop NFL players after you've been trying to stop them for 3.5 hours already.
Yeah. Okay, I can talk about that game in particular for an hour, but we got to move on. Matt Toledo, you've got a bet for us on that game. Talk to us.
So Toledo is one of my favorite teams in the country, and I think if they make the tournament, they could win a game or two, and it's a lot because of their offense. I mean, they have played 8 MAC games so far. They've scored 80 or more in 6 of those games, and they're just really efficient. They play with really good pace, and so one of the bets that has been almost an auto bet for me is their team total over. They're playing Buffalo, and Buffalo is a team that plays faster. Their defense is okay. I expect a lot of possessions in this game, and there's no way, especially at home, a Toledo team that regularly scores 80, 90 points, I'm not going to take their over here. There's going to be 70-something, almost 80 possessions probably in this game. I love the Rockets this year, so I'm going to play the bet that I've played and won a lot lately with the over on the team total for the Toledo team. And make sure to shop around because each book has a little bit of a difference. Some books have the half point. Some people don't have the half point. Some have a point difference. So I'm sure, as always, you guys talk about shop around because the numbers are different in a lot of different places.
Now, while Toledo has been flying over the total, Buffalo has not. They've cashed 3 straight unders. They haven't given up 70 points in any of those ball games, stepping up a little bit on the defensive end, which is not necessarily what Buffalo is known for. Does that concern you at all, that the Bulls are on a little bit of a defensive run their last few contests, or is Toledo's offense a lot better than what they've been facing in Kent, Ball State, and certainly than Western Michigan of late?
Yeah, that's for sure. And you just said, I mean, look, Ball State's got solid offensive numbers, but they're not on the level. And if you go before that, they gave up 88 to Bowling Green at home, which shouldn't happen. And then they gave up 88 at Akron, and Akron's offense isn't very good. And then they gave 91 to Miami of Ohio. So, yeah, there are some numbers here as of late, and maybe that presents a little bit of value here. Maybe Toledo's number would have been a little bit higher if not those games were occurring. But the Rockets' offense is one of the best, if not the best in the MAC, and I think they should be able to take care of business here.
Matt Joseph, everybody, $2 Tuesday handicapper over at Sports Memo. And we've got a really interesting special up for you guys at Sports Memo today. We have 3 $2 handicapper guys, Matt Joseph, Buster Sports, and Joe D'Amico. You guys can get all 3 of them, 3 best bets, all for only $5. So head over to Sports Memo. 3 plays, all 3 guys really hot. $5. 3 plays, $5. Make sure to take advantage of that. Matt, let's move on to your second game, Auburn and Missouri. You have a total for us in this game. How should we bet it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a massive letdown spot for Auburn, especially considering this weekend they do have an interesting game in the SEC Big 12 Challenge coming up, and they're coming off the huge contest against Kentucky, and now they head to lowly Missouri, who's not very good. Their offense is a little poor. Their defense isn't very good either, so that's why we're looking at the over here. Auburn's offense has been hot. I mean, they've scored 80-plus in 6 straight games, and I think the offense will be fine. In one of these situations where I'm expecting a letdown, I think it's more on the defensive side of the ball. I think you're easier to score points than to stop the opponent. And so in this situation, I'm going to play the over. It's gone down a little bit from when it opened, but that doesn't scare me because I think Auburn's going to do some heavy lifting. But we've seen this Missouri team. They stepped up when Alabama came to town. It was a 92-86 game. Missouri's offense, I think, could do just enough to stress Auburn here. I think we could see like an 85-68 type of game, an 82-66 type of game. I think this one goes over. Auburn gets the win, but I think there's a little bit of a letdown on the defensive side of the ball for the usually stout Tigers.
I can almost ask you the same question for this one as I did for the first one, because Missouri, yes, they went over last game against Alabama, but prior to that, 3 consecutive unders, and there's certainly not, what do we call Missouri, that offensively challenged team. They have their bad shooting games. We saw it versus Arkansas. We saw it versus Kentucky, certainly. Does Missouri's offensive woes concern you here at all?
I mean, tremendously. I mean, this is a team that gets a lot of their shots at the rim. And when you've got guys like Walker Kessler that protect the rim, yeah, that certainly scares me. But I'll point to a couple of other situations. I mean, if you look at Auburn coming off that road game against Alabama where they won 81-77, they went to lowly Mississippi and it was an 80-71 game. And Mississippi's offense, granted, they did some stuff yesterday. They're not very good. They're not a deep team, and they scored 71. You look at that South Carolina game on January 4th. It was an 81-66 game. This is a low enough total that if I can get 80 from Auburn, I think I'm going to get 65 from Missouri here. And so I think the over comes into play with the letdown being on the defensive side as opposed to the offensive side.
Matt Joseph, outstanding stuff. We love having you on the show, man. Is there a Prop It Up show this coming Friday?
Yes, it is. There is a Prop It Up show, and it's on right after your show. So literally, is the moment you guys end, you head over to the feed and YouTube, and ours gets underway. So make sure to check it out. We appreciate you guys being the warm-up act for us.
Of course, man. Matt Joseph, everyone, 19-10 his last 5 days of college hoops, $2 Tuesday handicapper at Sports Memo. We're going to take a quick break. We're right back with Teddy's Big Game Breakdown. Tokyo Brandon, Dave Sharapan, and of course, if we get 100 likes, the daily presidential address.
Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets from now until Super Bowl 57 on February 12, 2023 from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1,199 versus a regular price of $1,999 for one total savings of $800. This limited time super discount comes out to less than $100 per month and only $3.28 per day. As an added bonus, your all access starts immediately, so the sooner you buy before Super Bowl 56, the more additional days you will get for free. Just go to WagerTalk.com, choose your favorite handicapper to lock in, and don't forget there is no limit to the amount of handicappers you can redeem our Super Bowl to Super Bowl offer on.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk a little NBA on TNT for Tuesday night. The biggest marquee matchup in the association for this evening. That would be the Brooklyn Nets at home against the LA Lakers. Right now, looking at the live odds screen over at WagerTalk.com, I'm seeing the Lakers minus 2.5 is the current number. Total 227. And yes, that's the Lakers as road favorites in Brooklyn, which tells you all you need to know about Anthony Davis's status for tonight. He's officially listed as probable. It looks like Davis is going to be back in the lineup. He's been out for 17 games. The Lakers just 7-10 in those 17 contests, 2-5 in their last 7. They have not played good basketball without their big man. So we have a Nets team that is they're 2-2 without Durant right now. Steve Nash, after a bad loss, really their worst defensive game that I've seen them play all year in Minnesota. They T-Wolves shot 52% from the floor. The Nets gave up 136 points. That's the worst they've done all season. Steve Nash, quote, "I don't know if we gave enough resistance. We're into the body enough. Didn't feel like our will or our force was felt defensively. Whatever it was, we didn't have the juice down there tonight." So we have a Brooklyn team coming off their worst defensive showing of the season. And Nash is not a coach who gives us a lot of defensive quotes. Here's a quote that he's talking about. We need to play some defense tonight. Here are the Lakers, okay, who aren't going to push the pace against anyone. Who I'm not expecting LA to be in midseason rhythm in Anthony Davis's first game back. But I do expect his defense to make a difference in the low post immediately from game one. So we have a Nets team trying to play defense. We have a Lakers team trying to play defense. And we have a total of 227. I'm not looking for a breakneck pace in this one. And I expect the Nets and the Lakers tonight to stay under that total. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
I was muted, Teddy. I muted me because I was so enthralled. I was like, and then I muted myself. Anyway, I have a free pick on that game as well, guys. It's a side. Head over to my free pick page. Check it out. Teddy, some business before we bring on Tokyo Brandon. Number one, I got to mention our $2 Tuesday handicapper over at WagerTalk, and that is the Irishman, Kevin Dolan. Number one in NBA over the last 365 days at WagerTalk, and he's got a 5% play up. It is literally only $2. Head over to WagerTalk, take advantage of that. As well, guys, I have a 5% play up in the NHL tonight. And Teddy, would you allow me the privilege of just reading some of my current streaks? Would you sit through it? Would you?
No. You're running good.
Dan, just take Teddy off the screen, please. There we go. Now he doesn't have to sit through it. Okay. I'm 7-1 in my last 8 plays altogether. I'm on an 8-1 5% run. I'm on an 11-3 NBA run. I'm on a 6-1 college basketball run. I'm on a 33-20 NHL run. I'm on a 19-9 NHL 5% run. Those numbers pale in comparison to my NFL stuff that's going on. I got an NFL play up tonight. I got a college basketball play, an NBA, and a 5-star NHL. Bring Teddy back into the conversation. Sorry, Teddy, I had a moment, man. I've been away for a while. I've been rocking and rolling and haven't been able to tell anyone about it, damn it. You understand. Tokyo Brandon, number one handicapper last year at WagerTalk across all sports. And Teddy, I'm prepared to say he's going to be number one again this year. It's obviously just the beginning. Brandon, welcome to the show. What the hell time is it where you are?
It's 2:20 a.m. on Wednesday morning. And yeah, I almost was sleeping right now. So fortunately I got up and I'm here. Some people would like you to still be muted, Prez, but I, for one, enjoy listening to you talk.
Oh, so you come on here and you take a shot at the Prez. You know what's going on in the chat room? In the chat room, they're like, Prez, are you sure those are accurate records? Don't get banned another week. Yeah.
Well, I was number one all sports profit in 2021, and I am currently number one the last 365 days. So far in 2022, I'm plus 38%, but that's only good enough to be 5th place. So I'm 5th place currently at WagerTalk All Sports Profit.
I'm right behind you, bro. Let's get into it, man. Japan B League. We've got the Diamond Dolphins today playing the Alvark. The Alvark.
Yes. What is an
Alvark?
I have no idea. I don't know what an Alvark is, but I know. Yeah.
No.
It's like a Buckeye. You know, it's one of those things you're like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe it's something like an Aardvark or something. I'm not sure. But I do know that Tokyo Alvark is a really good team. And I know that the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins are a really good team. So in this game, when the spread came out and the line came out, I know these are two really good offenses. So I wasn't really surprised to see the Alvark team total at 83.5. However, the Diamond Dolphins only allow 74 points a game, even though Alvark scores about 88 a game. But my numbers show I use 4 projection models for this, and all 4 of my projection models have this under 81. So in this game, I'm going to make a 3% play on the Alvark total under 83.5.
So I got to ask you here, you know, Alvark and the Diamond Dolphins, they're 2 of the highest scoring teams in the league. Why are you looking at an under in this one?
They really are, Teddy. Very good. You always do your homework. The consummate professional. I respect it.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I've noticed that in this league, when 2 bad teams get together, despite being bad teams, the score goes up, 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 up. And when 2 good teams get together, their defenses somewhat take over, and the scores go down, down, down. So in this, I'm projecting a score of 79 to 78, and those are both under 84. 83. So I think the defenses will be more of a factor than the two good offenses.
Tokyo, Brandon, everyone in Tokyo, one of your clients is in the chat room talking you up. Man, people got a lot of love for you. It's probably because you
That's
didn't
good to
send
hear.
them a box of unedible food, but that's a different story.
Okay. You're gonna
Yeah,
harp on me again for sending you something.
dude, you know what, Brandon? It was such a wonderful, caring,
I'm
and
joking.
kind gesture.
I'm totally joking.
Uh,
I hate
I
matcha
really
too,
did
don't worry.
dude, I really appreciated you taking the time to send me the food from Japan or wherever it was.
And
I
a
mean, it's
very
still in the
heartfelt
cupboard.
letter as well.
Oh, the
A
letter
very
was
heartfelt
very
letter
sweet.
as well.
Teddy,
To
the
you
letter
and
went like
Vivian.
this. The letter went like this. Make sure to give Carm half. So, yeah.
I wrote Carm his own letter. Come on.
I'm just playing with you, dude. EuroLeague, Byron at Lyon. Lyon.
Yeah.
There's two Lyon. There's a Lyon
Yes.
in France, and there's a Lyon in Spain. I'm guessing you're going with the Lyon in France.
Yes. I didn't know there was one in Spain, but yeah, EuroLeague.
Nor did
is
I
a
until
league
I was
where
in
they-
Punta Cana talking to some woman in a hot tub, and she was like, "I'm from Lyon," and we're like, "In France," and she's like, "No, Spain." But it's pronounced more like Lyon. Lyon, I don't. Just shut up, Prez. Shut up.
Where
It's
were
spelled
you the last
differently.
week, by the way? I noticed you were always in the sun when you were doing your videos, so it must have been a very hot place. Not Canada.
Punta Cana.
Oh, nice. So the EuroLeague is basically a mix of all the European league's best teams. Here we have Bayern Munich against Asvel Lyon, and Bayern Munich is a much better team. My numbers, I have them a 7-point favorite, and you can get them on the money line here for -25, -135. In that area. So I would recommend taking Bayern Munich in this game. This game's actually going to start in about 2 or 3 hours. So go ahead. I'm going to make just a 2% play on this, not a huge play, but Bayern is a better team. I would lay up to 5, and they're getting 1.5.
Yeah.
In basketball, when I see totals or when I see spreads of 1.5 or less, I just take the money line usually. So I'm going.
Well, that's
I never take plus.
Well said,
I never
Tokyo,
take plus 1 or
Brand.
plus.
Yeah, that's obviously because you listen to WagerTalk Today, you worship Ralph Michaels' charts, and you pay freaking attention.
I don't know if he has any
Brandon,
charts in the
listen,
EuroLeague.
Teddy did a lot of research into this game and had an incredible follow-up question, but I wouldn't allow him to get it out. So I'm talking utter shit. Brother, what do you got to promote?
Yeah,
I know you're on a run.
I am on a run. Actually, as I said, I'm plus 36, 38 units so far this year, or percent so far this year. My Japanese baseball and Korean baseball are both packaged together for the year 2022. You can get both of those seasons for only $4.99 if you go to my WagerTalk page. You don't need any promo code or anything. You'll see the super early bird special if you scroll down. Last year, I won 63% of my Korean baseball, and I won 59% of my Japanese baseball. So if you jump on that package, you'll probably make your $500 back in a week or so.
Brilliant. Awesome stuff. Now get out of here and go to bed. Tokyo, Brandon, everybody, 2:30 a.m.
I'm not sending you any more boxes.
Hey, you know what, though? Send me love. That's all I want, Brandon. Just love.
I always do. You and Teddy.
Thanks,
bye, guys.
Brother. You know who's got a lot of love for me, Teddy? Dave Sharapan. He's got so much love for me that he is not here yet. But he's coming. Later, Brandon. So, Teddy, what were the highlights of your week with Steve Merrill?
So you said my blood didn't boil, and that's not actually what I said. I said my blood pressure didn't go up for the entire week. I did a week's worth of shows, and there wasn't one moment during that week that I had steam blowing out of my ears and I could feel my pulse racing because of something annoying that you said. So that was the joy of working with Merrill. However, Merrill doesn't make me laugh as much as you do. So I'll give you. There's
Teddy,
a
there's a
cost
show on
benefit
Netflix.
analysis with all this stuff.
Yes, there is. There's a show on Netflix, Teddy, with Jeff Ross and Dave Attell. It's called Bumping Mics. You and I should do it, dude, where we just roast each other for like a whole show. Oh, would just be so much fun. Anyway, speaking of being roasted, dude, Dave Sharapan wearing the girly glasses. Dave, what is on your face, man?
Joe Burrow, Bengals.
He's on your face. Joe
Joe
Burrow is
Burrow.
on your face.
You said that, not me.
I said, what is on your face? And you said Joe Burrow.
I said Joe Burrow.
Does anyone pay attention?
Nobody listens to you, Prez, just so you know. We're
Well
just trying
said.
to keep it
well
real.
Said, Dave. So now you're a Joe Burrow fan. So you're a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and now you've jumped ship.
Listen, in the book, it's whoever you need, whoever you like, whoever you want. And, I mean, who's not going to need Cincinnati this week? Anybody in this business? I mean, Kansas City can't lose. They got the home game, 7 points. It's the AFC Championship. So, everybody forgot about Burrow and what Cincinnati did. It was the first game to an amazing divisional playoff weekend. So just to bring some stuff to the people, I had to come on with the Bengals hat and the Joe Burrow sunglasses.
Okay, well, let's start with then how did the books do last week? I mean, I know how I did last week. I won every damn bet.
Yeah.
But Teddy wants to know how the books did.
Books did phenomenal. When the dogs win outright and the games go under like they did Saturday, there wasn't, I don't know who won. The books won. The books did good. And then Sunday came, and a lot of people were on Buffalo. So I think the books ended up that was a good result. They couldn't stop the over train on both games on Saturday or Sunday, And then the Rams game, eventually, the Tampa Bay money came, but a lot of people were on the dog on the Rams. So I think that was more of a wash. But the books will be fine. Don't worry. They're alive and running well, so they'll be just fine.
So in the opening weekend of the playoffs, we saw all chalk. The favorites went 5-1. 4 of the 5 wins came by 2 touchdowns or more, or 15 points or more for that matter, 16 points or more. It was one-sided action in favor of the favorites. Then in the divisional round, we saw one-sided action largely in favor of the one-sided results, largely in favor of the underdogs. Do bettors still remember what happened 2 weeks ago, or is this one of these scenarios we can expect dog money in both these games? What are you seeing in terms of early action? Who do the public like? Who do the wise guys like? Let's start with the first of the two on Sunday. That would be Bengals Chiefs, and it sounds like you think it's going to be nothing but Kansas City money.
Yeah, Teddy, when you see a number and it's right, and we've said this for years, in the business, the number's right. The number's right at 7. Anytime you want to bet on Kansas City, just go to 6.5. Anytime you want to bet on Cincinnati, you go to 7.5. So you sit at 7 and you wait and you wait and you wait. And some early indications, where you might see books move the juice are indicating that there may be some dog money coming from the bad guys on Cincinnati. But if you're going to do a teaser, you're going to have Kansas City down. There's just no, that's you just know in the book you're going to sit there and write nonstop Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City. So the total's interesting to me because we saw one of the most unbelievable playoff games Sunday night with Buffalo and Kansas City, and it was what I called the speed limit game. 55 is the total. And the automatic play comes from that sharp money. You can't put a number 55. What are you people doing? And they bet it under, and it went to 54, and then it went to 54.5, and it flew over. Same thing's going to happen here. It's going to be the books against everybody, and I think everybody's going to win. The game's going to probably go over. So 54.5, it's funny because that initial money didn't come yet, which may be, people in the business realizing that it's a different game now. I mean, there's interference is actually a play. They call it in the huddle. Just run down. I'll throw it up back shoulder, run into the guy, and we get a 25-yard gain. You don't even have to catch the ball.
A funny one.
Yeah, it happens every week. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
totals
just
fly
to
over.
clarify, real quick, Dave, is this line going off of 7 or is it just going to sit on 7 all week? If it goes to 7.5, it'll immediately go back. If it goes to 6.5, it'll immediately go back. Is there any urgency for anyone to bet this game at 7 now, whether you like the favorite or the dog?
No, it's going to take a mountain. I mean, a mountain of money for a book to get off of the 7 now. It might get to that point Sunday, day of the game. Somebody might finally, pull the ripcord and go to 7.5 and get some, we got a 7-figure decision on the game. Go get, 100 dimes or something on the dog. I don't think you'll have to worry about it. I mean, if you want to bet Kansas City, and you don't want to lay 7, I don't think you're going to get any 6.5s. It would be real. There's a real reluctance at this point with the future positions and everything else to go to 6.5.
Dave Sharapan, everyone. Dave, a bunch of stuff real quick. Firstly, your wife called. She does want her sunglasses. My ski beard, because ski season starts in 10 days. Anyway, Dave, I want to talk to you about the second game, but I do want to make a quick comment. Maybe you can jump in on this. Guys, if you plan on betting the over in the Kansas City-Cincinnati game, you got to go do it right now. 54 is a freaking crucial number. There are already 54 and a halves out there. You can still get 54. So if you're betting it over, bet it right now. If you're going to bet it under, wait. Get that 54 and a half or that 55 because 54 is huge. 24-24 goes into overtime, 6 points. There's your 54, and you lose if you're on 54 and a half. Make sure to bet that now if you're on the over. Dave, anything quick to add to that, and then we'll talk the next game.
No, I'm impressed with your math skills, and I'm impressed that you might actually be giving this out. This sounds like one of those moves where, the Prez play comes and then all the books got to move. You know how that works. So you've been gone for a week. It's pretty good. Do you go snorkeling when you go?
Well, I didn't this time, but man, I've gone actually spear fishing. Have you ever done that?
Never in my life did it even occur to try.
Oh. It's the greatest. It is the greatest thing in the world. I mean, the only thing better would be if Teddy was in there with the fish, and you pull this thing. Oh, it's so much fun spearfishing. Anyway, Dave, Rams San Fran. And I love this game, and I love it because the Rams looked so freaking good for most of the game against Tampa Bay. They looked incredible the week before. San Fran could not have looked any worse last week and still snuck out a win. And here you have a situation where the Rams have not beaten this team in 3 years.
That's funny, isn't it?
The line is -3 to the Rams. Where's the money coming? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What's the initial lean here?
So the initial, some books that kind of took a lead on this had 4. And got San Francisco money immediately. It went to 3.5. And now there's heavy threes, which, that's an industry term, 3 minus 120, extra juice than 110. Or you see 3.5s where the juice is minus 120 on the dog. So you talk about 7 and you talk about 3 obviously being key numbers. 54 apparently is a key number for a total. Prez said so. There's going to be a real reluctance to go to 3 if the book isn't
apparently.
You just said it. I'm just saying. Listen, no drama. Stop yelling at me, please. Flex Tuesday. My goodness. Anyhow, the books don't want to go to 3 if they don't have to right now. And I think, again, using exactly what you said, which was good advice. I wasn't saying it was bad. Was if you like the Niners, grab the 3.5 while you can, because I think the number's only going to go to 3. And if you see a Rams -3 and you like the Rams, get the Rams now. This total's 46 and a half. What? I mean, this is round 3 of this season series, right? And you know how these things go when they really know each other. It's probably going to be a very tight game. And I think the initial lean from some people that I've talked to and stuff is that the game is going to go under. But you think you're going to see the number kind of just sit because I don't know if 45 might be a key number in a lot of different combinations in the book. So just be aware of that right now. I think what we all have to get like kind of out of our minds at this point of the season is that there's minimal line movement. As the games get less and less, there's more. The lines are tight. I mean, it's really tough. And you saw the games. I mean, if you watched the games and you had action on the games, you had a lot of drama. And there was a lot of times where you were probably sweating a decision, a total, a prop. I don't think you're going to get much line movement this week on either one of these games.
Dave Sharapan, just really quick. 45 is not a key number in total betting, but 44 is massive. 44 is one of the biggest key numbers in total betting. 51 is in this day and age, is the keyest number. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. 51 is as important as it gets, and then 48, and then 44, but not 45. Teddy covers. Get some more info out of this, man. Dave's doing good today, man. I'm going to go flex.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Do?
The keyest number of all is 3 when it comes to point spreads. Yes. Rams, Niners, and I gave out an emergency betting alert yesterday on the opening line report saying that if you like San Fran, grab the 3.5 now. And yet I wake up this morning and there's still 3.5s out there with San Fran. Now, like South Point just moved to 3 this morning. I'm seeing the William Hill at 3. I'm seeing some of the Bet Rivers at 3. I'm seeing some of the other books at 3 already. But the markets are still 3. It's still a split line here. Where's it going to close? 3 or 3.5? Or is this going to sit at 3.25 all week?
Well, like at South Point, Chris won't go to any juice on the 3. Right. So he's going to bounce back and forth between 3 and 3.5. And by him keeping that true to the 110, I think you'll get a real indication of where that thing's going to close because Chris has to move it. He doesn't have. He made it a personal choice, and Michael backed him up with it that we're not going to do the juice. It always confuses everybody when they go to the window. Nobody understands it. It's more confusing probably than it's worth to do. I understand why the books do it, but I was always the guy that thought the same thing. Just move the number back and forth. If it falls 3, it falls 3. Where does it close? I think half the books will close 3. I think it will close 3. And then, this is one of those indications where Vegas might be a different number than the rest of the world because we're going to get a lot of that California money. And then the books down south have a different number than the books up north because they get all that West Coast San Francisco money up in Reno. So keep an eye on that. I think you'll be able to kind of play. I mean, if you have different outs, back east, you may be able to take 3.5 and lay 3 if you want to try that game this weekend for that second game.
Dave Sharapan, everybody, and guys, again, real quick, in regards to this 3 and 3.5, I'm very, very opposed to buying points on a regular basis, almost ever, especially if it starts at 3 minus 110 and you're paying, if it's 3.5 minus 110 and you're buying down and you're paying 20 cents. That's a terrible, terrible value proposition. You look at the difference between 3 and 3.5 is roughly around 8%. So if you're paying 20% for an 8% value, you're an idiot. However, if it is at 3.5 minus 100 and you can get it for 3 minus 120, well, that's a little bit of that's a much more interesting thing to do. So if you can get 3 minus 120, do it. If you can't, don't buy down. Dave, Teddy, anything to add to that?
My head hurts. That was a lot of math this early in the morning. That was pretty good. I don't have anything to add to that.
Teddy, any NBA you want to get out of him?
We're out of time, man. We got to get your 2-minute address and all of that. So let's promote Dave Sharapan at SportsBKConsig on Twitter. Where do they find you, Dave, in the real world?
So yeah, at SportsBKConsig on the
your
Twitter.
address, please. Your home address.
I'll get
Just
I'll send that in the
his home
Slack.
address up on screen.
Put that in the Slack. It's only in the Slack. Please, with the drama, Flex Tuesday with the tan. It's unbelievable. You pop that orange shirt to make the tan pops. It's cash considerations. It's 8 in the box every day, Monday through Friday. Bostonian versus the book. I'm headed there to do the show. It's from 10 to 11 Pacific, 1 to 2 Eastern. Every night on Sports Grid and Sirius XM 159. NBA today, game of the night, Dallas Golden State. It's the third lowest total of the season for Golden State. The numbers come down. The money came on Dallas on the overnight. It opened 4. It's down to 3.5. Steph can't hit the ocean. I mean, Prez is in the ocean spearfishing. Steph can't make a 3. His under prop bet the under 3s. He don't make no more lately. And watch that total. Every time they put this total too low on a Golden State game, they seem to go over. In hockey, Prez, while you were gone, all they do is score goals. Look to a lot of the overs. I can't wait to hear what you have in the presidential address. Thank you, boys, for having me join the show.
Dave Sharapan, everyone. Outstanding stuff. It's so great to be back. I miss doing this show. Okay, Daniel, son, it's time for the most watched, most listened to, most loved, and most incredible segment in history on Daily News. Dan, if they keep doing that, just throw them right up, dude. If they're gonna act like such imbeciles, just throw them right up. Let everyone see the behavior that Teddy and Dave have to, do while I'm trying to give out winning information. Anyway, what a show, everybody. If you guys didn't see Wager Talk Today, check it out at our YouTube channel, Wager Talk TV. Dave Sharapan, Matt Joesphs, and Tokyo Brandon. Also, it's $2 Tuesdays. Kevin Dolan's got a 5% in the NBA tonight. It's $2. At Sports Memo, we have 3 guys for $5, so check that out. I got 3 free hockey bets for you guys. I left rolling. I come back rolling. I hope you guys took advantage of my poolside videos in Punta Cana that I put up. Well, I want to quickly say I have a 5% play in NHL tonight. I'm on an 8-1 run in my 5% plays. I got an NBA play up tonight. I'm on an 11-3 NBA run. I got a college basketball play up. I'm on a 6-1 college basketball run, and on and on and on. Here are my free hockey bets. I am betting these plays tonight. Philadelphia and the New York Islanders under the total of 5.5. Under the total, Dave Sharapan. Edmonton and Vancouver over the total, and an addendum. Edmonton's a bye team, guys. Edmonton is a bye team moving forward. And Carolina in regulation tonight. They're playing Vegas. Vegas on a back-to-back on the road against 2 good teams. One Washington last night. The Canes tonight. Take them in regulation. It's around -120. That's it for the show. Outstanding, incredible stuff. Teddy, keep Dave on. Take us home. Dave, you can take us home too if you want. I'm out of here.
Rolling.
I learned a Carolina Panther yesterday, Sebastian Aho. So I know one now, whatever that's worth. That's going to wrap it.
Call them the Panthers?
For
Can I
the
call them the
Tuesday
Panthers?
edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank our guests so much, Brandon Siepkin, Matt, mid-major Matt. Why do I have space in his last name? That's the worst. And of course, Dave Sharapan. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day, hang out with us. Matt Joesphs, of course. And that's going to wrap it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. 9 a.m. here on the left coast. Noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games. Good luck.
known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.